I know we're going to have a high-speed train in just a moment. Oh, oh, I'm glad I got out of the way of that. Mission 5, drag line.
One of the high-speed trains coming out of London has developed a fault and terminated here at Reading. The train needs to be towed back to the old Oak Common for repairs.
Hey guys, and oh.
The drive of this rescue move. A Class 66 is being brought out of Reading Depot, just to the west. Meets the locomotive when it arrives in the station.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Devtop Games Train Sim World. So yeah, last episode for Great Western Express I guess today, as we are now doing mission 5 of 5. Bit of a shame this series will come to an end now today, but hey, they give us 5 missions. The map's not the longest in the world, but I've thoroughly enjoyed this one so far, and I hope you guys have done so as well. So, last mission today we'll be towing a broken down train, Class 43 HST from Reading, where we are right now, to Old Oak Common sidings where it can be repaired. So let's wait for the train here. Could take a few moments. We'll have to see what happens because again it's all on a real timetable schedule. Basically just sit here and wait until something happens. So yeah, got class 166 pulling to station there. Otherwise just enjoy the scenery. Currently in Reading right now. So yeah, car park down there. Station itself, quite modern, quite new. Because again, the station completely closed down and got rebuilt in 2010, 2011. So yeah, not too bad. The station right now with the improvements. Right, so we made jump cuts this. I'm not too sure how long it actually takes for the train to get to it. Otherwise, yeah, it looks like we may be here for a few moments. We'll have to see. Likewise, which platform the class 43, the broken down one, put into? Might be that one, but I doubt it. It sounds like another train's coming into station as well. Might behind the 166 then, where I can't see it. That one. Right, I think it may be you we're taking, the broken down train. Yeah, it might be you we're taking, so I've just got to wait for a class 66 train to arrive. I think I can actually see one. Hang on, if we go to the map, just look at the stations. So yeah, that's 166, that's a 43, 43, 166, and then one single car coming. So yeah, that's most likely going to be our train right there. Yes, it is. So yeah, he's about to come, and then we'll take we'll take them that train, just broken down train, and bring it back to Acton Yard. Take your time. Take your time. We don't have all day. Another one train coming up behind me, class 166, also arriving at Reading. But yeah, here comes our train. Thank you very much. To be fair, I could probably just jump out. Yeah, jump into train here. Come to the cab and get ready to go when he's ready. Oh. He left before I could even say hi. What a shame. What a shame. Right then, into the driver cab. Let's get ourselves ready to go.
You need to get that locomotive over to the failed HST and hook it up. Head out to the Kennet Bridge Loop, and then you'll get a path back into Reading Station.
Right, Kennet Bridge Loop. So that's over the bridges. Yeah, I'll have a look at that on the way. Otherwise, turn the mask key on. So did you actually like lock train down as well before I even got here? Great. So reverse to forwards. Lights to daytime. Tail lights on. Auto release brakes discharging. They've already been discharged. And throttle, signal permitting, increase the throttle to get going. So wait for the signal to go green and then we'll be clear to go. So yeah, whilst we wait, let's talk about the series itself. So mission 5 of 5 today, like I said, last episode of Great Western Express. What do you want me to do next? What do you want me to do to fill in the Monday gap? Would you rather me keep it blank? Would you like me to do another train simulator? Like train simulator 17 I could do. I could try and get myself another one of the world subways as well. I could even do, what I'm thinking most likely going to happen is I do the CSX heavy haul missions you get in this game, because those are quite good. And I know there are a few people who want me to do the CSX heavy haul missions within Train Sim World. So what do you guys want me to do? Maybe your opinions have changed. Is there another simulator you'd like me to do? Would you like me to do CSX heavy haul? I mean, at the end of the day, it's what you guys want on the channel, not what I want. I mean, as long as I'm happy, as long as I enjoy the content, in this case simulators, I'm happy to do it. I mean, Monday simulator, Tuesday simulator, Wednesday simulator, Thursday simulator, Friday we're doing Flight Sim World, which also ends this week because I timed both Train Sim World and Flight Sim World at the same time, which has been going quite good actually, I will say. Really well done, those two connected together, plus the Dovetail's Flight Sim Microsoft Flight Sim X as well, also now owned by Dovetail. So, not been too bad the last couple of weeks for me, but with two series now coming to an end at the same time, as well as starting at the same time, what do I do next for the channel? You guys, I'll get to decide. But other than that, let's go to full throttle. Let's get trained to the Kennet Bridge loop and then turn the train around for the HST. Alright, 40 mile per hour speed limit, so I'll actually idle train now. And 40, yeah, I don't to put a little bit braking in. 42, bring it down to, there we go, release both. There we go, good speed for the points, and it's up to 60. Although, yeah, and down to 25, actually quite close, so let's go for braking again. And put into the siding in 800 yards. Okay, so actually are quite close to the siding now. Right, can you bring that to 27? Perfect. 25, even better. So yeah, driving a single car again of the Class 66. The driver cab. I'm sitting down properly this time. That's something I had a bit of fun with last week. Although, yeah, playing into siding now. 25 mile per hour speed. Actually, no, still 60. 25 miles per hour and 200 yards. 400 yards to the bridge loop. So that's the Kennet Bridge right there. Heading over. I'm not actually sure which river this is. Not the Thames. Yeah, I don't think it's Thames because Thames goes through Maidenhead, although this is still Thames Valley. Bear in mind the Great Western Railway went through Thames Valley. It could be a tributary of the River Thames, could be a tributary. Anyways, let's start braking. Actually, yeah, 100 yards, start braking, and get ourselves ready to stop. I can see the UI on the floor now. Alright, nice and slowly, bring the train in. And full braking. Perfect. Right, so reverser and neutral, master key to off. There we go. Headlights, taillights off. And change ends to the back of the train. So brakes now going to idle, that's fine. Close the doors, sorry, open doors before closing them. Onto the tracks, and yeah, switch sides to the front of the train, where we'll now be taking control of the service. So open doors, climb up, close door, open door, through door, close door, sit down. Right then, so reverse the master key to on, set that to forwards. Daytime lights to day. In fact, make it neutral. Does that need to charge up the brakes? Do I? Not sure if they'll do it in neutral though. We'll see. We'll see. Forwards sets. Daytime lights to on. Tail lights on. Auto brake to release discharge them. Although I know some people have had issues with this part of the mission where for some reason discharging the auto brakes will not properly discharge them. There we go, I actually did it this time. So prime brake can come off as well. Released. And increase the throttle to get going. just to realise instantly that the signal's actually red. So don't get going. Apply the brakes again. Wait if signals go green for me. Although stop at location T1685 in 0.8 miles. In fact, let's see if I'm able to pass this signal here. Answer is I don't know. Denied, no route available, roger that. So I'm going to have to wait here for a little bit. That signal was yellow. Hang on, so what is the plan here? So yeah, we're stuck in this bit of track here. We need to wait for that signal to go green before, yeah, coming back. So it's not going reverse, so like out here and then come back. It's not that at all. That's another thing I know people have mentioned. You cannot escape out of this bit of track. So that signal's red, although on this map it's yellow. Come out here, the points are automatic, so they won't actually allow us to change that. Meaning, yeah, we'll just stuck here until the signal goes green. Head back to the train. I mean, I could try and pass it, but it will most likely give me that message, signal passed in danger, don't go. And the point itself takes us straight into that buffer, so I'm not too sure what I'm meant to do at this point. I'll just sit here and wait. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Right, so be patient was the answer, and the signals will change. So throttle free, 25 mph speed limits. And then we go to meet with the broken down train at Reading. Right, speed limit goes up to 60 now. That goes down to 40 in 500 yards. So we'll go maybe to 40 ourselves. There goes the bridge. And yeah, shouldn't expect too much for this mission. Should be quite a good one anyways. Going a bit too fast now for 40, so apply the brakes. Because yeah, most likely can change points here. Ooh, just in time that. So rigging the red signal in 400 yards. Let's bring the train to a halt, shall we? So my guess is that track's not available just yet. We need to wait for a train to leave the station. Right, so our train's now come to a halt. Scout ahead again. So much for the clear path. Ah, right, okay, no, carry on. As there is actually a point defined for us a bit further on where we need to stop. Yeah, not done these missions just yet. So I'm still trying to learn the setup. Although in reality, I'm sure the driver in the real world would have a bit more information about each part of their journey, as opposed to you picking up a train, go. Alright, we'll get ready for braking now. It's a very fine margin between signal and red lights. So I'll go as slow as I can to this one here. It's actually on the points to stop here. So not exactly ideal in my terms, but let's add a bit of throttling. Just push train onto the stop. 20 yards of give if we do mess up. Alright, full braking. And see what happens next. You're not going to give that to us, really? Right, release all the brakes again. Release all the brake pressure. Now I've got a feeling it's because of those points there. It's not going to give it to us, so I will need to push the train forward a tiny bit. But not quite the red signals, so idle. and brakes. There we go. There's a 166. And press tab. Here we go, request signal reds. It's gone to yellow, so we should be fine. And stop in front of failed train, perfect. So release all the brakes, and let's go. Speed limit's still at 60, so I don't actually get any like limited speed in case we do crash into it. Guess that's fine. And yeah, 26 miles per hour, maybe around 25. Keep it idle at least. And this should be a good speed when approaching the train in 700 yards. So very technical this mission, I have to say. Requires a bit more thinking than the other missions we've got in this DLC. Unlike the last week one, which was also the Class 66, going in and out of the tracks. Anyway, start applying some brakes. And slowly bring it into Reading. That's another train there, so it's not our one we're taking. Our train must be on, again, this platform here. We've got some minor braking on right now. Stop in 400 yards, so slow the train down. Bring it to about 5 miles per hour or so, so we're entering station now. Remove the UI, and yes, there is our train. Alright, perfect speed. That will do us. Fair enough, 280 yards. Train's though right there, so I'm just going to have to assume we stop right now. And hope it works. Perfect. Alright, rescue locomotive coupler. Climb out to the... Wow, it's very small text. Climb out and activate the Buckeye coupler on the front of the locomotive. Can that text get any smaller? Right, so head out, run to the tracks, and over here, coupler hatch open, crouch down, and bring out the Buckeye. Now let's get back up the train. Hang on, activate it. Is there anything I've missed out? Control 1. Right, back to our train. Ah, okay, right, something down here is that. I don't actually know. I'll climb down again. And is there a Buckeye in the front of this to match up? Yes, there is. Okay, hook out. There we go. Yeah, so that train's now been set up. Climb back aboard our train. Let's connect up the HST. And then we should be cleared to take it back to... Old Oak, isn't it? Yes, Old Oak. Right then, so slowly bring it together. Perfect. Right then, back in, set the reverse to neutral, master key to off, turn the train off again, turn it around, and then bring it back to the depot, so everything off. This light, I'm never going to get the lights. Prepare the train on the other end, and set it off. You sure about that? Well, do I need to turn the train on and set it to reverse? It seems rather extensive, because I mean, I'm meant to be towing this train. And therefore, shouldn't I be driving from the Class 66 end and not the 166? I mean, my guess is you have to turn the engine on so that this is providing some power, but I might be wrong. Let's just go and find out, I guess. So, sit down. Turn the tail lights on. Tail lights. And parking brake released. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yes, tail lights off, parking brakes off. Fair enough. So that closed that. Now walk back to the driver cab of the class 66. And then we can start towing this thing back to Old Oak Common. So a bit of a setup, have to say. But we're getting there in the end. And then we're on our last journey of the Great Western Main Line DLC. We can put this series to bed. Like I said, a bit of a shame that we have to end the series now, but oh, you Slav, your Adidas tracksuits. You just need to squat and you're fine. Right, let's close doors. Oh, hello again. I need that chair. Reverse to forward. Was that her by any chance? I think that's maybe either her then, the one who does my voiceover. Anyway, it says at date time. Automatic brake, release that. Okay. I don't think the engine's even turned on right now. No, it's not. Oh boy, that's gonna be a bit of a setup then. So, isolation switch to start. On. Engine starts. Engine's now starting up on the Class 66. There we go. That can set to run. And throttle forwards. Train should be set up and ready to go. Perfect. I know my Class 66. Possibly needs to release the brakes. No, that's apply. I want to release. Hang on, I'm just stressing the engine now. There we go. Right, it's like moving. So completely release the brakes. Need to get up to 5. The automatic brake. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Parking brake turn off whilst we're at it. Brakes almost clear. And tiny bit more. There. Brakes have been released. Bring up to full throttle. And there we go. That's what I was hoping for. We're now leaving Reading Station for Old Oak Common. That's 10:15. Okay, so it's actually giving us a timely speed there by. So that's about 50 minutes. Just over actually 50 minutes. So yeah, this episode will take the best part of an hour and a quarter, hour and a half maybe. Otherwise, all looks good. Got to keep an eye on the signals, otherwise we should be alright. 32 miles, no problem. Make sure I close both doors. Yeah, that's perfect. Right then. So, let's enjoy our journey. Speed limit goes up to 125 full speed in about 320 yards. Speed limit currently is at 40. Yeah, we should be no problem at going full throttle for this first bit. Right, goes back to 40 again, so actually idle throttle now. Hope the points have been set up from the siding we were at earlier. But now we should be alright again. Yeah, we're changing tracks to the second rail now. Might even go to the first rail. I've got a feeling we may be on the second one for a little while to come. Let me just scout. No, we're actually going back to the first rail, and then we'll be on here for the majority of the journey. All the way up to the siding. So yeah, far left track, far left track, far left track. Pull to the side a bit at this station. Yeah, that's fine. Guess we're clear to full speed then. And bear in mind, not many trains take this track. They mainly take the second lane. So yeah, we're on the far left tracks, looking this way. Most passenger trains will take this track here. And then these two tracks are return journey to Reading. So yeah, we should be alright in terms of taking the broken down HST back to Old Oak Common. The only thing is that top speed will be 75 miles per hour and not the full 125 that you get in the 125. And then the Class 43, the HST, or the 125, the Intercity 125, another name for it, because it goes 125 miles per hour top speed. So yeah, I thought about that. Press tab, you can actually unlock and lock doors for the HST because it's connected to your train. Maybe I'll mess around with that when we arrive at the depot. But yeah, sit down, get comfortable, as we will be here for a while. Try and hug the speed limits, because again, we need to arrive by 10:15. And bear in mind, we have to restart the train as well once coupling. A few extra moments of getting train up. So, what should we do for the last ever journey along this route? Let's go stand on the bridge and watch the train go past. Yeah. Goodbye, Reading, for the last time. You were a fantastic stop. I'm not gonna lie, I did thoroughly enjoy the route set. But hey, 5 weeks done, plus a live stream, plus 4 pre-release videos showing the free trains and the night lighting environment. Oh, and a passenger mode. So 4 videos plus live stream. I've done about 10 videos on this series. 10 videos on this train simulator. And if I open this window and stick my head out the side, oh no, it takes to the back of the. Oh boy. I don't like the looks of that. Okay, right, so it didn't take me to the back cab if I stood up. Okay, it wouldn't affect me in any way. That's just a rather interesting camera, actually, I'm not going to lie. So if I wanted to, I actually didn't realise that was a thing. So press the arrow keys, it can just go to all these different views, as it did before in the American Train Simulator. There we go, that's what I wanted to do. So I could watch the Intercity passing by. Which is why I opened this window in the first place. In fact, if we open the window again, perfect. To press the horn for him to go past. And yeah, he seems got a few passengers in there actually. A few people in the food carts. Anyways, he's overtaken me. Back into our cab. And just go for the camera views again. Perfect. I think you guys can tell I've enjoyed the series and I'm going to miss it, I'm not going to lie. It was fun. Definitely fun whilst it lasted. But unfortunately all good things come to an end. And in this case, Train Sim World, Great Western Express. Right, so we're at top speed of 75 miles per hour. We which means at this point, unless the signal changes, we'll be driving the full length now back to London. Yeah, to avoid the tunnel, because you guys know the camera in this game does not like solid objects, it'll just glitch through it. I have to say the HST is still just about visible over there, but he's going to go for the full 125, whilst it's like a 75. Very quiet, I will say, but no, enjoy the British countryside. Hang on, I opened the wrong window for that. I want to open the back window, stick my head out of the rear. There we go. Enjoy the British countryside. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people now own this DLC. It's been a few weeks. There's plenty of videos out there, and optimization and that stuff has improved. I mean, not even the Class 43, the windows don't even glitch too much anymore. I think Dovetail have slightly adjusted that. But no, the actual simulator itself, absolutely fantastic. I do like Train Sim World. Compared to Train Simulator 17, just this simulator beats it in every single aspect. Graphics, physics, modelling, detailing, you name it. Train Simulator 17 has nothing on Train Sim World. And I'm glad Dovetail Games plan to push this as their main simulator in the future. Did you guys not have a model for a combine harvester to have to deal with a digger instead? What a shame. Anyway, close the window. In fact, while I won't actually leave the train, I'll do it on the other side. I could probably open the cab door, can't I? Yep. So I can't actually leave the train explicitly by pressing E. If I wanted to, I can just peek outside the door. Because this doesn't have a door lock, unlike the passenger trains, so nothing I can do about that. And again, fuse box to the back. I don't think there's an AWS on any of these. Cab heater, parking brakes, auxiliary generators and fields. And again, we've got a DSD down here, DSD isolate. But no AWS. And speaking of AWS, maybe that's why the train on the back is broken down, why we're carrying it through. Because unless the only things it could be is the engine breaking down, or the most likely one, the AWS being failed. Because as I explained in the first episode of this series, what the AWS does is it alerts the driver when the signal is not green. It's either yellow or red, so it alerts the driver to have them pay attention to the signal and make sure they have to adjust accordingly to it, so slow down or stop. What happened in 1997 in Southall is one of these trains, a Class 43, it overran a red signal as a Class 66. One of these were pulling into the Acton sidings we were at last week. So basically, there goes 143 there, Class 43. So what happened is, this train, not this exact train because the train got written off, but Class 43 at full speed slammed into the side of a stationary, well, not stationary, but slow moving freight train as it was moving to the siding, and the angle of the impact meant that the first carriage driver car made it out to right, derailed. Second car took the full force of the impact from the now stationary wagon carts, and then the third carriage, because both carriages now move out of the way, they've been derailed, they move out of the way, basically he left them both flat ends to collide into each other whilst on the track, leading for the third car to bend in half completely, making the iconic U-bend shape, resulting in deaths of 7 passengers, 6 on the scene, 1 laid aside in hospital. But yes, do a Google search for the Southall rail crash, and it explains why trains are now legally required to use the AWS, and why if they break down, the train is no longer permitted to drive unless on a very limited speed with a capable driver to the nearest location that they can get it repaired. So in this case, I went to Reading for us to continue the rest of the journey. So speaking about that, I don't know how to turn AWS on here either, which is not the greatest thing in the world. Because it's quite a scary thing to think about, the fact that people have actually died because of an AWS failure. Anyways, let's slow the throttle and start going on the brakes, because yellow signal, maybe red next one, so I don't want to slow the train down as much as I can. Right, what colour is the next signal, red or yellow? Right, it's also yellow, so if we limit it to about 50 miles per hour, just under, that'll do. If signal's red, then that gives us plenty of time, plenty of speed to slow down and stop. So basically, yellow signal means that this block is clear, but there is potential for another train in the next block, which will have a red signal, therefore we need to stop. So between each signal, it's called a block. So you have, if the train's like 2 blocks away, signal's green. If the train's at 1 block away, it's yellow. If the train's in the next block, then the signal's red, and each block's about a mile in length or so, giving trains enough distance to slow down and stop. So we're at 46 miles per hour, approaching the next block. How's the River Thames? Again, every week I want to look at the River Thames, but I just keep forgetting. No, that's not the River Thames, that's just... Oh no, I don't actually know. It's just a river. I don't think this is Thames though. It's just a river. Everyone wants to look at the River Thames in this part of the route, but I keep forgetting, because in the real world, around Maidenhead, it's absolutely beautiful. In Simulator, it's not too bad either. Anyway, let's slow down and figure out what colour the next signal is. Yellow. Okay, so we'll keep at 45. Let's just scout ahead on the map quickly, figure out what's going on. So, yellow signal. Red. Okay, so yeah, there is a train somewhere in front of us. There it is, right, class 166. So he'll pass a green, he'll then turn red. And the next signal for me will turn yellow. So there is a service in front of us which you need to be careful about, and on being a 166, he's also a stopping service. So we can't go any faster than he's travelling right now, meaning 45 is a good speed for us. We're going to slow down him when he moves, but when he stops, gives us some decent distance to catch up with, essentially. One thing I know people have also talked about is a potential for a route editor in Train Sim World. Now, one thing I want to say, it's like my own personal opinion, so a lot of people do want a route editor to build their own routes within Train Sim World, but me personally, I don't. At least if there is, do not integrate it with Steam Workshop, because let me be honest with you, so some of the maps you can get, like DLC, the Just Trains one, and default maps within Train Simulator 17, they look half decent. Not perfect, but they have got some decent detail in them. Look at the Train Simulator Workshop files, and yeah, fair enough, you've got some really high quality ones in there as well, some decent train maps. But then, you've got some really horrible looking, cheaply put together maps that look like they look like they've been put together in 5 minutes and don't look that great at all. I mean, Train Sim World, I wanted to stay as like the high quality, almost professional train simulator. Maybe have like the editor so you can create your own routes and scenarios between stations. But me personally, I don't know if I want to see a full route editor build your own routes and maps and so forth, because the amount of detail that Train Sim World maps they have, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, think about it. All these buildings are hand placed, all the roads are hand placed. Trees and vegetation, fair enough, have got some organic work within the train world, but like everything here has been placed by hand by the developers of Dovetail Games. I mean, as I've been saying quite a lot now, in Train Simulator, they can do about 1 mile of track a day in terms of detail, scenery, the route, all that. About 1 mile a day. This simulator took Dovetail Games 1 mile a week to do all this detail within the simulator. 1 mile a week. That just tells you how much the level of detail is between Train Sim 17 and Train Sim World. New engine, new everything, new assets, but from one day a mile to 1 week a mile, that's 7 times the detail, 7 times the time. You don't see that in a lot of people's work on the Steam Workshop, which is why I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to see these people's maps. I mean, fair enough, you've got some really good developers out there. I'm not going to take any credit away from them. There are some really nice maps out there, but the majority of the people's work out there, I'm just saying, it's like, it's not the nicest in the world. And when you think about what Train Sim World brings to the simulator genre, yeah, I hope you can see my point of view. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I mean, if there is an editor, fair enough, I'll probably use it myself, but I hope you guys know what I mean, where I'm sure you've seen like the level of detail in some maps out there. Like, I don't really want to see Train Sim World turn into almost a joke simulator as Train Simulator 17 was. I mean, people in that simulator just enjoy like crashing, glitching out, and all that kind of stuff. Fair enough, you have your serious drivers as well, especially some YouTubers out there. Some really good content, but yeah, I hope you guys can see what I'm coming from in this. Anyways, the next signal was red. It's now gone yellow, so we will slow down, bring it to a halt, and then accelerate again. We'll go slow acceleration, throttle free. Anyways, carry on. We're 60 miles from Old Oak Common. It's not too far away now. If I look at the map, next train is, yes, quite close to me now. We're about to pass through. Yes, that's Heathrow. That is no, that's Slough. We're about to pass through Slough. Langley's a bit further ahead. Now the 166 on the other track as well. Yeah, so about to pass through Slough, through Langley, through Ivor, through West Drayton, through Hayes and Harlington, through Southall, and then, through West Ealing, through Ealing Broadway, then through Southall. No, what am I talking about? Hayes and Harlington, Southall, then it's West Ealing, then it's Ealing Broadway, and then we go through Hanwell before arriving at Old Oak. Yeah, first depot is Acton Yard. So yeah, we need to go through Hanwell first before arriving at Old Oak Common, which is fairly close to Paddington actually. It's one of the closer ones. Right, next train's now fairly far away from me as the signal's now gone green, so we can bring it up to full power, although as I said on the first week, you are technically meant to bring down to throttle 0 and alert people that are coming through before going back up to full throttle when you're clear of the station. Right, one thing I do want to look at is how does the connection between 6.6 and 4.3 work? Ah, so a pin has been fitted in the Buckeye connector, and of course you've got the pipework brought together as well, the cableage. Yeah, they have put a pin through that, and that's how the train connects to the 6.6. Fair enough. Doors locked as you'd expect, can't open these. And then yeah, just the usual nice work between all the cars, nice movements and all that. And in the back of the train, yeah, the engine switched off, but we'd have the tail lights on. Oops, I've just glitched through the passenger cars there. Because again, this simulator does not like solid objects, but I think everyone's made that clear now through this sim series, because I know I'm not the only one doing Train Sim World. I know like Squirrel did that, a few other smaller YouTubers as well, a lot of German simulators as well. I'm sure there are lots of German channels doing Train Sim World, because again, Germany do like their simulators. But yeah, a lot of people have pointed out that these trains do not like their solid objects cameras. Anyways, let's carry on driving. Alright, I've just driven an extra amount of distance. I was looking away from him there to actually see what I did. Well, we've got some achievements for driving, I think it's like 200 miles or something, but again, wasn't paying full attention there, just quickly looked away. Just been sent a message over Steam. If you have me on Steam or have me over like Facebook through that page, feel free to like add me or something. Someone's got a map of the Great Western Main Line and all the National Rail services in London Underground through London. It's quite cool that. I'll look into that later. And just focus on this train now. And just get to the end of the service. So now it's Slough earlier. We are now passing through. Hang on, we already passed Langley, didn't we? Potentially, I don't remember. Nope, this is Langley. Yeah, this is Langley. You can tell by not even looking at stations, because that building there and a bridge over the top of the station makes it Langley. Yep, that's fine. And if I wanted to, there's a warehouse over here as well, which I can view from the station. So West Drayton's next station after we pass the M25. There you go, another class 43 HST. There we go, signal's yellow. So we are catching up with the train that's in front, back to throttle 2. And that train got on its own momentum for a bit. Yeah, bear in mind, train in front of us is also moving. I don't need to go onto the brakes too much at this point. Just enough to... Yeah, again, go on with my momentum. If we do go uphill, that should slow us down a tiny bit as well. Passing through West Drayton. Sorry, passing through either, then it's West Drayton after the M25, so that's the M25 right now overhead. Next one. That one. The massive motorway. I didn't want map, I wanted free camera. I keep pressing the wrong keys, because I'm using an American layout keyboard, not a British layout keyboard. It's like, it's had one more key on the numpad, so I always go a bit too far to the side. But yes, the 12 lane M25. And I will say, if the M25 was always this busy, then London would be a much happier place. Because no, even if it had 12 lanes, the M25, it would be packed, traffic jam, and blocked. Anyways, back to our train. Alright, this is West Drayton now. Completely empty. It's a ghost station, although trains do stop here fairly frequently. Alright, so it just went green, so train has moved to the second block away from me. Or changed track, I don't know. Now, think about it again. Most services would normally take the track on the... Actually, now would they? Because coming into Hayes and Harlington, this is now the left track. Right, okay, so... It may have changed around at this point. Again, depends how these two tracks merge, because that track is the one heading... Oh, 4 lanes. Alright, I'm trying to forget. Okay, no, there is 4 lanes now, so... This track and that track is heading towards Reading. Sorry, heading towards Paddington. That's track and that's track is heading towards Reading. So yeah, we are rightfully behind our service at this point. Here comes the Heathrow Express crossover. As we pass through it, let's explore Heathrow Airport maybe. Or actually, what I don't want to do is check the map for the next signal, and it's ready that station. Right, so actually I do need to slow down ASAP. Glad I checked the map, otherwise I may be overrunning a red signal in just a moment. Yeah, that signal's yellow in about now. Next signal is red in 600 yards. We're at 42 miles per hour. We're going to cut this one fine. Cut this one fine, let me tell you. No, ignore that. Right. You know what? Let me turn on AWS. I did say you can press Control Enter, turn it on. Press Q to isolate it, and then turn off the DSD, which is glitched. Right, AWS is now on. That signal is yellow. And looking back at the map, I think I did yeah, he was at Hayes and Harlington Station when I caught him. So, good time for myself there. Just about averted a crash, potentially. Anyway, let's release these brakes. AWS is set, so I'm now going to pay more attention to the signals. Assuming the DSD doesn't create a fault. Yes, Control Enter turns the system on. In fact, how far do we go on this line to the end of the mission? So don't... yeah, so if we're going to here, and we are about... It's about... Well, about 9 miles, really. About 10 miles behind this service before we leave that. If he's going to travel at most 60, it's class 60, 166 is top speed around 60. So if we maybe stick to about 50, I think that would be a good speed for us behind him. Means it gives him time to stop at stations. There goes now gone green for our signal. Gives him time to stop at stations. Gives me time to adjust everything if I need it. But yeah, I did almost jinx this at the start. I did mention that I do need the AWS turned on, otherwise look at the Southall crash to see why. And I think we're a bit too far away from Heathrow Airport to see that, as basically the one thing I don't like about this game, one slight downside, is that I think that's DSD actually in action, yeah. So we just stopped in the middle of nowhere for no reason, so turn that back on, turn everything off again, so isolated, off. And I do need to drive this one manually, because like I said, the emergency brakes just turn on for whatever reason. People have reported it, so I've told yet to fix it. So fingers crossed we don't go into that situation we were in earlier. Otherwise we should have enough power to get ourselves going again. There we go. Now just focus on the rest of the journey. Go full acceleration again, because I think the train in front of us now actually has gone quite far thanks to our stopping there again. Let's investigate track on the map. He is... hang on, there's Southall. No, that's Hayes and Harlington. Next stop is Southall. So he's past that. And heading towards... right, that's West Ealing there. Ealing Broadway. There's the Greenford branch, and then the... yeah, and there's the station. Yeah, that's fine then. So he should now be alright for the rest of the journey. But as I said, can't be too short. I will slow down the accelerator, essentially, and keep close eye on where I'm going to go. But other than that, let's go to Hayes and Harlington Station. sit on this bench here and watch how a freight train comes shooting by. And of course the horn does not work anymore. You just ignore it, just ignore it. Right, so this has now gone on for about an hour, this journey. Starting at Reading and coming here. There's the trailers we actually did last time. Because, yeah, this is the Hayes siding, is it? The Hayes good yard, that's it. Where we dropped off the aggregate last time, this siding here. I remember it was then about here, I was in my T-pose just glitching out. There's the bridge that we crossed over. Yeah, I remember this place well. So we're not going to Acton Yard, we're going to go a bit further down the line. There you go, there's a canal. That's not the Grand Union Canal. Grand Union Canal goes parallel to that, so that's a slightly different actually, I'm not even sure if it's a canal, I think it's just a river. And again, not my number one part of London, this. Anyways, there's the water tower. Going through Southall. And we'll soon be at the end of the journey. Another 7.4 miles to go. Green signals along the way. I think we can actually probably increase speeds just a bit. Let's go all the way to Throttle 8. Yeah, a bit of a shame that we've done all the scenarios, as I keep saying throughout. Wouldn't mind more, as I keep saying throughout, but I'm definitely gonna carry on playing this in my free time. Something I'm definitely going to do, just based on how much I've enjoyed this route. I've enjoyed the schedules. I enjoyed the trains. The trains are number one. Like, let me tell you, I do love this setup. The Great Western Main Line's a great route to have. Horn's working again. Thank you. Great Western Main Line's a great route to have. Just the detailing in the simulator is absolutely fantastic and really well done for us. So while the series has come to an end, I'm definitely not giving up on this just yet. So you can hear I'm a little bit quieter now because I'm a lot more conscious about where this train in front of us is. Hang on, green signal, yellow here. Right, so it's yellow at Ealing Broadway. He has passed it already. Alright, so he's now in Acton. And it's a little bit further from Acton. So we may be behind a yellow signal at least once more in this journey. But other than that, we should be alright. Speed limit goes to 80, we can go 75, but I'm going to idle this at 60, as I have been doing throughout this journey so far. Going on the viaducts now. Like I said, some absolute beautiful scenes you get in the simulator. Something Train Sim 17 would not even come close to, which the Unreal Engine has well done. Although, as I mentioned a bit earlier, I would go back to see... Actually, I'm not sure if I even mentioned that or if it's something I said in my head. But basically, I would have gone back to see the Heathrow siding a bit more. But basically, when it comes to scenarios and missions, sometimes it lets you go out into the environment and see whatnot. Other times, if you go a certain distance, it will give you an error a pop-up message saying you've seen all the explorable world, mission over, and it automatically fail the mission. So, yeah, one thing I want Dovetail to maybe expand. I mean, you've created all this map, although if you limit how far we can go up and down the line, what's the point in creating all this map? I mean, I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed that message come up, but again, the way it just fails your mission by doing it, at least teleport the camera back to your train, or do what you did in Train Simulator 17, which was if you go to the far end of the map, the camera moves with the train. I mean, not an error message that fails the mission no matter what. I mean, you could be right at the end of the mission, and as long as you go too far, the mission's over, you failed, goodbye. Anyways, last little growth of the game, because as I said, so far, just everything about it I've enjoyed. I think I've talked about everything so far. So the modelling, scenery, trains, physics, yada da da. All I've said in the past already. Just, I love this game. Train Sim World has really improved the train simulator genre as a whole. And I'm glad to be a part of it. I mean, people do enjoy my content. People do enjoy the series, the pre-release stuff I was talked about earlier. I was glad to be a small part of the release that this simulator had. And I hope to do it again sometime soon as well. I mean, Dovetail games have been good to me, I'm not going to lie. Dovetail games have been quite good for the smaller YouTubers. And there are some game developers out there who would only go for like the massive people that everyone watches and so forth. But in my case, I mean, I'm a small channel. I'm growing fairly well to some people. But yeah, I'm a small channel who does this kind of content. Dovetail Games had a look, they liked it, and they're like, sure, here you go. Feel free to make some pre-release content for Train Sim World, as long as you don't release videos by 6 PM, because that's like 24 hours before release, and then don't live stream it until the game goes live at 6 PM tomorrow. So, yeah, other than that, they've been good for me. And I'm definitely appreciative of that. I mean, even the guys over at the Flight Simulator division as well. Chris over on, so yeah, we've got James on Train Sim World, he's been good to me, and then Chris on the Flight Sim World division as well, he's also been quite good to me as well. So, shout out to those two, James and Chris. You two are amazing. Thumbs up for you. Also, yeah, like I said earlier, the Flight Sim series also comes to an end because there's only 5 missions of that. So, one more video of Dovetail Games month, as I created at the start. Such a bad idea, but yeah, one more video of that, Flight Sim World, and then that's it. I think I'm out of Dovetail Games for now, unless I get Fishing, because that's actually the one Dovetail game I do not own yet. It's Dovetail Games Fishing. Although, I wouldn't mind seeing Dovetail games like Ship Simulator as well. So you got Flight Sim World, Train Sim World, Ship Sim World, and have like the Ship Simulator Extremes engine updated and modified. You know what, Dovetail Games, if you're watching this video, try and acquire Ship Simulator. I would love to see an updated Ship Simulator, and a decent one at that, because there are a few ship sims out there, but none of them are that good. None of them really stand out. So yeah, Dovetail Games, make it happen. Anyways, coming up to the last signal now, and we reach the siding. At least speed limit goes down to 15 in 0.8 miles. So yeah, apply that. Actually no, keep it around 40 for now, 35, 34. And then we're a little bit closer to the speed limit decrease. I'll then bring it down to 15 miles per hour, because yeah, slowing it right now, it'll just take us a bit of time to get that far. Assuming the signal's yellow as well. Like I said, we may be behind him one more time, although I think that may just be the fact that we're about to enter a siding, and therefore you need to slow down for the points. There we go. 0.8 miles till red signal. 500 yards to speed decrease. So actually start doing that now. And 0.6 miles to stop at location. So I've got a feeling that red signal there is on our track. And we just need to bring train up to stop at location. And that's fine. So we'll soon be entering the siding unless we're actually already in it. We'll see. We'll see. Right, a little bit slower. In fact, I would go for a direct brake. Automatic brakes can stay off. Direct should be enough for this bit. So direct brakes being the brakes just on this car here, and automatic brakes are the brakes along the entire train. There you go, perfect. So now release the brakes. And there's the siding we're going to enter. And of course, a bit of flange. on the siding itself, which is quite a nice extra. Oh, what a shame. We are only 470 yards from ending this series. It's almost the final countdown on this. One more set of points here. I can see the GY at the floor there. We may do a reversing, I'm not too sure. We may reverse at this point, so I've got a feeling we're just going to leave train here. But yeah, we are so close to finishing this series. It's sad, actually. Come on, Dovetail, I want more content for this. Great Western Express is like it's. I want more. I want more scenarios. Please make my dreams come true. I mean, this is the longest train we're going to drive. I mean, as default, the HST is a 9-car train. I think. Yes, it is. And then with this at the front, +1, 10-car train. It's as long as we're going to get in this. Yeah, just counted. It's a 10-car train. Right, apply both brakes. Stop the train. I'm going to overshoot that bit just a tiny bit. As I was paying too much attention, but we got another 200 yards of give here, so it's fine. And stop. Wait until... Are you kidding me? I have to wait until 10:15. We came here early, but no, not going to happen. My guess is that we're actually going to have to reverse it at some point, which means we do need to wait for the tracks to clear up for us, and I get like a timetable slot or something just to push it back in or something. But that means we have a jump cut to come up. But before that, let's just have a quick look at the train. So yeah, there's our class 43. There's our class 66. And then somewhere over there we'll have a class 166 shooting past to Paddington. But I've got a feeling we probably won't see one. I know we're going to have a high-speed train in just a moment. Oh. I'm glad I got out of the way of that. Because I was standing on that tracks just a moment ago and looking through the map. That could have been dangerous. Anyways, back into our cab. And I guess I'm now going to sit down until 1:15. So close the doors, sit down, and I'll see you guys in just a few moments. Right, change direction, set the reverse to backwards, and head into Old Oak Common as it's now 1:15. So, yeah, we could have gone literally the moment we arrived, but nope, we had to wait. In fact, if we go to the back of the train on this camera mode. Now I was going to go on this track, not at all. There's the siding. Yeah, we really didn't have to do too much there, didn't we? Now the brake's active still. No, we're going to apply to release. Yeah, brakes are still active, that's fine. Now, so yeah, we have to reverse behind us. If we scout ahead, make sure that the track is already set. Because the worst thing I want to do is... a bit of complicated, that one. And the signal there is... well, that's yellow. Those two being red, I assume, is to head out. And then, yes, manual siding set up. I think that's already been done for us. So I think it's just best I go double check that as we head in slowly. So yeah, yellow signal, expects on to be red. That's an automatic signal box. That's an automatic signal box. I've crashed into that. That's an automatic signal box. It only goes manual to... hang on, I'll turn that arrow on actually, just for the sake of it. Because yeah, it's a bit of a journey. Well, looking at the GPS, like I said, it did look like everything was set up properly. Oh, there's a bit of oil there or something. Or just some shadows. I don't go too far again because the simulator will just have a go at me for heading out this far. It's part of train there. And yeah, speed is down to 15, so should be careful. Actually, idle it now. In fact, if I did enough for the right hand side camera, I did eventually actually go to the back of the train. No, I did it from the other seat, wasn't it? Sit in his seat. Yep, there we go. Nope. There we go. This is the rear of the HST, aka the back of our train, just from the other seats. So it's looking good. Again, check the map just in case our thing's not been set properly. That's straight. If I were to click on one, it would tell me that I'm on the wrong track. So yeah, that goes straight again. Nope, I want it there. Then that is correct. Massive one. Yeah, it's a really confusing one. So, boy, not sure how this one actually works. So I'm gonna have to scout ahead, aren't I, in the third person camera. Click on access. There we go. Set up back onto the seat I was sitting on just a moment there. So it clones me for train driver seats. Otherwise, let's carry on looking for the track set up. So this one was correct. We're going to go through that, no problem. The next one, down to 5 miles per hour. That's fine. In fact, I'll just go for the normal brakes. That's fine. That we can release. Add a bit of power and carry on going back. Track is correct. Track is correct. Track is correct. And then into the sidings. Yeah, that's fine then. We have stopped because the brakes have been set. Now to release. I'm overcomplicating things ourselves now, aren't I? Right, brakes are released. Let's get backwards again. There's another train over there. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen too many 166s, just 43 so far. Probably will be one more passing at some point, but other than the one that was stuck behind, not that many of them. Right, it's 5 mile per hour speed limit here, so we'll stop accelerating. And just soon slowly bring it back into our like common. We'll just stop. Yeah, 6.5, that's good enough. When the speed limit's 5, as long as it's yellow, it means that we're not overspeeding, but we are above speed limits. Otherwise, yeah, we've now started turning into the actual depot itself. Yeah, we'll soon get ready for the stopping zone. How far does it want me to go? Another 400 yards. Keep like that now since we know we're in the right track. And yeah, this depot here should be long enough for the entire 43 to fit. Without train poking through the front, that's fine then. And then over here, we just got the remains of a class 43. Maybe it to be scrapped or something. Probably being, what's the word? Not scrapped, but cannibalized for other trains on the route. Because 43 is now fairly old and, well, they're not exactly producing any more of these anymore. They haven't produced these since the 60s and 70s, so yeah, there are some limited numbers out there. And look at that. How far back does it need to go up? Right, we'll try and match up to that train there. If not, bring it a little bit more forward. As long as the front of the train can poke through the depot. That's what I'm looking for in this journey. Throttle 1. Bring a little bit more power into the train. Because if you're stopping here, it looks like then the buffers trying to go through the buffer, in fact. And looking at the back, they don't give us that much room to maneuver around. So if these are also 9-car trains, yeah, bring the front of the train just so it's poking outside. Nice and slowly. 4 miles per hour is good. It feels like I'm actually going to hit those buffers, but I know I'm not. There's plenty of space. Brake now. Perfect. Stop at location. Objective complete. Well, I need to decouple and move this thing. Reverse and neutral. Master key off. Lights off. Is that it? Is that the end of the series? Please no.
Thanks for all your help with this unusual move today.
And yeah, mission summary. Orlok Common, Reading to Orlok Common. All on time. Location due 10:15, 10:06. So tick on that. So we may level up on all 3 unless the things glitch. We're now on 120,000, 100,000. But yeah, let's continue with that. Although we can't continue because heading to main menu. Let the simulator load. Unless there's like new scenarios that have just loaded up. Now I've completed the first 5. That's it. Scenarios. All well, 4 of them ticked because that one we didn't go to Maidenhead, just up to Slough, which was good enough for the first episode since I've already done the journey so many times. But yeah, that's that. That was a really good series. I did thoroughly enjoy this one. Dovetail Games, Train Sim World, Great Western Express. I mean, if you want me to, again, I can say I could always switch over to CSX Heavy Haul and do the scenarios that come with this one, as there are a few, all a little bit longer in length. But if that doesn't interest you guys, then fair enough, I won't do it. Again, or let me know down in the comments what you'd rather me do. But other than that, I think for now, Great Western Express we can put to bed. So I hope you guys enjoyed the series. Do leave a like if you did. Do subscribe. It does really help channel out, especially in growth numbers. But and hopefully you find another series as well to like in the channel as well. I mean, this is it. Great Western Express is done. And, well, let's see what we can do in the future. So I thank you guys very much for watching. And hopefully I will see you guys in the near future. But until then, goodbye.